Uber and Lyft's gig economy problems will only get worse as startups like Kaptyn and Revel threaten them with better driver retention plans, a new report predicts. Now, I don't know how much of a dent these companies will make, but the more of these, the better. The better the competition. The more people that switch to this type of model, the better. Right? In the long run, I think Uber and Lyft are self-imploding. Right? And there have been some talks of extreme high penalties against Uber and Lyft, perhaps even into the billions by the SEC because of the way they report. So I think they are falling apart at the seams as it is. But, good for these companies that they come in and scoop up a lot of drivers. Using gig workers as drivers could hurt Uber and Lyft in the long run, according to PitchBook. Startups like Kaptyn and Revel are using full-time employees as drivers and own their EV fleets. It's like Alto, but almost like Alto with EV cars, right? That's the way the rideshare industry is heading. As you could see with their deal with Hertz, where they announced 100,000 cars, possibly 200,000 cars. The CEO of Hertz announced today. Their approach could result in better customer service and lower turnover. And that's Revel and Kaptyn. Uber and Lyft may dominate today's ride-hailing market in the United States, but one of the founding principles of their businesses, their reliance on the gig economy, could come back to bite them in the long run. I agree with that. In an October research report, PitchBook mobility analyst Asad Hussain said ride-hailing startups that own their vehicles and hire drivers as full-time employees could be long-term winners as the industry adapts to regulation designed to increase the adoption of electric vehicles. In our view, the future of ride-hailing is likely to be dominated by providers that own and operate their own fleet of EVs. For Uber and Lyft, the gig economy reduces expenses. They don't have to buy or maintain the vehicles their drivers use and don't have to provide as many health or retirement benefits as full-time employees would expect. But according to Hussain, this business model will make it much harder to transition their fleets to electric vehicles, a move that will be necessary to meet upcoming regulations in California and parts of Europe. While Uber and Lyft have said all of their vehicles and their fleets will be electric in the coming decades, they will have to rely on drivers to make that switch. EVs are, at least for now, more expensive than their gas-powered counterparts. Many Uber and Lyft drivers may not be able to afford them. They also can't travel as far between refuelings, and public charging stations are much less plentiful than gas stations, which could further limit their appeal. More EVs on the road is good news for the industry. A Lyft spokesman told Insider Lyft has the largest fleet deployment of EVs in the market today, and we were the first rideshare company to commit to having 100% electric vehicles by 2030. Having others following suit is great for the planet and the people we serve. The Lyft spokesman also highlighted the company's EV rental program for its drivers, which the spokesman said makes EVs more accessible to drivers who might be hesitant or unable to buy one. Uber didn't respond to a request for comment. Startups like Revel and Kaptyn are hiring full-time drivers and buying fleets of EVs. The next generation of ride-hailing startups is taking a different approach. Companies like Kaptyn and Revel are buying fleets of EVs and are hiring drivers to work for them full-time. Balanced against the higher sticker price, EVs cost less to maintain, which will help manage expenses. Making drivers full-time employees could result in better service and lower turnover than Uber and Lyft face. Long-term, we believe mobility providers employing full-time workers will likely be more successful in attracting the best talent and ensuring quality of service. I want to hear from you if you agree with that. Still, new ride-hailing startups won't have an easy path to becoming serious players in the industry. Uber and Lyft account for nearly all of the United States ride-hailing market and have brand recognition that competitors would need years to approach. I agree with that. They also have far more money than upstarts like Kaptyn, Revel, and Alto, which have each raised less than $70 million, according to PitchBook. At the end of June, Uber had $4 billion in cash, while Lyft had $484 million. Those startups will need far more money to have chance at growing to anywhere near the size of Uber and Lyft. But even if those companies don't end up becoming serious challenges to their more established rivals, they could offer a preview of what ride hailing will look like in the future. We just need more of them. We need to get more of these companies into the marketplace, and then you're going to see Uber and Lyft have to adjust their rates or pay drivers better, right? Competition is extremely healthy. So I welcome Kaptyn and Revel, startup companies. I'll support you guys all day long. CEOs reach out to me. I've supported Alto. Alto is doing great. We pushed Alto in LA. They're very well established in Los Angeles now. So any startup company that wants to use this channel, I will support 100%. Have a great day, everyone, and I'd like to hear your comments if you would possibly consider Revel or Kaptyn. Have a good one.